This is Annie with the Perceptual Computing Lab, and this is the third part of a four-part tutorial series in which we're going to be changing the scale of a cube with gestures. So to begin, let's open up our MonoDevelop. There won't be that many changes relatively to the last iteration. We don't need to add anything in our initialization because we're getting all our data through our gesture GeoNode information here. And as we're calling gesture in our initialization, we don't need to update that either. Let's scroll down to our update, and under the last iteration, we'll just say if user hand, which is our GeoNode, openness is greater or equal to 80, and it's on a scale of 100 to fully open and 0 to fully closed. Then we're going to say hand icon, which if you remember from our last tutorial is the red cube, dot transform dot local scale equals new vector3, and we're going to feed it 2, 2, 2. That means it'll double in size. If user hand dot openness is less than or equal to 10, then hand icon dot transform dot local scale equals new vector 3, 1, 1, 1. So that'll reset it to its default size. And that is it for code changes. The hand openness is a very useful feature, but if we want to access any of the other gesture information that's embedded in the SDK, then we need to access it in this way. Let's say private handGestures.geonode. So we'll make another of these in which to put hand swipe. So let's say we're looking for a hand swipe, we'll put the data into this GeoNode. So again, it doesn't matter where you put your information as long as it's between acquire frame and release frame. So let's just throw it in here. My camera dot query GeoNode, and then we'll say pxcmgesture dot gesture instead of GeoNode label, and when we hit dot, we'll get a shopping list of different gestures that the SDK will recognize. In this case, let's say nav swipe left, and let's feed the data back out into hand swipe. So that's it. I'm going to delete it because we won't actually need this for the example that we're creating right now, but I wanted to let you know that that is available and that's how you use it. Let's save and go back to Unity. So now when we hit play, you can see that it will respond not only to the position of the center of my hand, but also to whether or not my hand is opening or closed. This section covered using the openness function of the SDK to change the cube size, and also gave you an introduction for how to access all of our gesture information. The next section of the tutorial will cover face tracking.